You get to come all the way up.
Okay, we will.
Hey, Noah.
We will open this meeting of March 22, 2012. Let the record be shown that Selectman Jessamine is not present, the time being 4 o'clock. First order of business. No. Before Tim, we need a chair and a...
I make a motion that Pat Constantino be chair of the Board of Selectmen.
Second.
Wow, okay.
I didn't ask you.
So there's a motion and a second on the floor.
You willing to do it some more?
I am. Thank you for the honor. A motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I make a...
It is a job that takes so much time, and for me, it's when there's somebody that does it well and is willing to take that time. I don't like losing them.
I guess we can conduct the rest of the meeting now. I make a motion that we appoint Sandy Plessner as vice chair.
Oh, second.
Okay. I know I didn't. All right. Would you?
Are you willing to?
All right. Motion's been made and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion
Remain
passes.
intact.
Okay. Now, Tim, and we'll go over the board appointments
Later.
later.
All right, so I have a report, and then I also have a diagram. My report is really very brief. There's only a few things here.
Do we have it?
It should be in your packet.
It's in, should be in here.
In the,
I guess I didn't go far enough. I didn't look in the, I didn't look through this. This is stuff I haven't.
That's it.
You find it? Oh, thank you.
So the following town meeting, there seemed to be two things that made sense to do. The first one is relating to principal and interest lines within the budget, and just looking to simplify, because we have 2 lines for principal, 2 lines for interest right now, and I have in your FYI just an authorization for you to sign for me to combine those into one. If we ever had to, we could split them out again, or represent them any other way, but it just simplifies it for us. The second thing is the budgeted amounts in the 2012 budget for those 3 positions you see there, treasurer, deputy treasurer, and health officer, were budgeted for the full year 2012, and I believe, considering I was going to go after Joyce tonight, but now I'm before Joyce, she has PAR forms in order to make those retroactive. And I just wanted to make sure that it was on here as just as a reminder in case it didn't get discussed earlier.
I know we discussed it when we put the plans together, that we discussed making them appropriately back retroactively.
And we planned as far as money.
The monies,
Yep,
the
that's
budget
the way
monies, right.
Okay.
Yep. And so in your to be signed photo, you'll see the thing about the 2 budget lines. The other things are just the open items that
Just a simple question
Yes.
while we're on the combined items.
Yep.
And I know the answer to this, but I just want to make sure it's out there. You very easily, if somebody asked you, would be able to disseminate those 2 apart anyway.
Oh, any
So they don't have to be in the
slicing and
budget like
dicing.
that. Yeah, okay.
Any way you want it.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's the principal long-term debt and the principal on user paid into one line.
Right.
In the same vein of the 2 lines of interest, long-term debt, and interest user paid into one line.
They would
Okay.
both just show interest, long-term debt.
We would need a motion to do that. Okay, got it.
So, in any event, the other items are things that I'm working on and just in the priority. Most things you're aware of, possibly a couple you're not, but I wouldn't necessarily have to go over it at this point. They've been on my prior reports, and Al, if you'd like, I'd be happy to share with you the detail behind some of these, particularly the New Hampshire retirement one, which requires some work. The other things that I have that didn't make it onto this particular sheet, and I was using up my old letterhead, Al, so you'll see in the budget thing to be signed has the new letterhead on there. But I had just three other quick things. One is I purchased a third tablet for the board, refurbished one, $250, and so we'll see how that works, and possibly expand as the year goes through and look for more deals like that. The other thing is I've received some calls, and I sent out an email regarding our 61 Business Park Drive property. Occasionally I get a call from a realtor, and I talked to one that we've talked to in the past, that's talked to us in the past about potential interest, and I thought it would be appropriate at this point, considering the appraisal that McLean did 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago at this point, it was November 2009, was because the word I got from the realtor was that the market is firming up and tightening, and there's a lot more interest in these sorts of things, and people aren't building them, they're buying them.
Right.
So I thought maybe this is a good time to revisit, and I've called him to get a price on what it would cost to update that appraisal, and perhaps it's full amount. I don't think it would be the exact same amount we paid originally, but he is the commercial appraiser
Right.
that people go to in this area, and I thought if we're going to be looking at any kind of offers of leasing or purchasing in the future, that we should have a current market assessment and analysis of what the property is worth.
So-
I know there's some things that probably should take place in the building prior to that
Yes.
appraisal.
Yeah.
So this isn't anything imminent, but I'm going to get a price, and I'll come back to the board. I just wanted to introduce it to you and let you know this is something
Right.
I'm going to look into.
But do you really think the economy has made enough of a flip to warrant it now? I mean, because we're definitely going to be looking at it a couple of years from now, or a year from now.
When we know we won't lose so much money.
Well, we'll see. Maybe it's only a few $100s or $500 to.
Because it's definitely
It's an
not...
update, it's not...
It's definitely not
Right.
something we've budgeted for.
Yeah,
Right, it's not.
It's already been done before. Has he done, did he do it
He
before?
did the original
Yes, he
one.
did it.
November 2009.
So it's not going to really take him...
It'd be mostly the market analysis, and probably revisiting the building for any changes, things like
Right.
that.
So if it's small enough,
It
okay.
hasn't even been...
The only other thing
Doesn't
is
hurt inquiring.
we could accomplish the same thing, using realtors. It just wouldn't quite have that
No meat to it.
the meat that you would have with that.
Is our lease up now with Winnisquam in May?
At the end of May, and
Are they talking and extending that for the summer or no?
I have not talked to him about the summertime, but he had indicated that he would like to continue. But I think that's another reason why now is a good time, 2 months prior to the expiration, to really kind of get a lay of the land and see
I think we
what
should,
other opportunities there might be.
my opinion on that, my personal opinion as selectman, not as resident, but would be that we need to reinvestigate the value of that at the time, because there is work to be done.
Right.
And you don't want to have a tenant that you have to remove to do the work and then put back in.
For the
So we need to
summertime.
accommodate that.
For the
Right.
summertime?
Correct.
Right, yeah. Yep.
How long
Right.
before the work gets done on that?
Well, the work cannot be done until hot weather is here for a sustained period of time. So, I know it's here, but it's not going to be here for a long time. So
Okay.
it's going to cool off, and then we'll be in trouble.
Well, I just
be dried
wanted,
out.
I just thought it would be prudent to at least find out what it would cost
Right.
to get that
Right.
updated.
Makes
And-
sense.
And, maybe we don't do it this year, maybe we do it next year, but at least, I think for the board to be as well prepared as possible would be a good thing. So I've talked to the chief about having two of the fellows that installed the video surveillance system at the police department, Corporal Wisensee and Lieutenant Martin, about installing the system here, which they're willing to do. It's going to cost me 2 cameras. This system came with 8 cameras and 16 channels, and the chief really needs 2 cameras, so we
Well, wait a
kind of
minute.
made a little deal.
Wait a minute.
I knew this was coming.
So what you're looking at, if I may, Catherine, what you're looking at is just an overhead diagram, a really rough version of the first floor, the 2 hallways, and you can see the ramp at the bottom of the diagram. And as you walk in, those sort of what look like lights, those are approximate camera placements where the chief felt it was very important to have the ability to capture faces entering
Yes.
the town hall, and then also just general movement, not necessarily any particular office, although he did think it was important to have one behind the town clerk's counter facing out, because
It can only video
Is
the
that D?
counter.
yeah,
That would be D?
that would be D. And it would not, the resolution on these isn't such that you can read anything or
On the
see.
computers and stuff.
No, the only thing you'd be able to do is you'd see someone standing there if they reached across and grabbed cash or dumped stickers or, grabbed somebody, you'd see that, or you'd see if they threw something or someone threw something at them. You'd be able to tell that kind of detail, but you wouldn't be able to make out anything on, it wouldn't be trained to where you could even see the screens, but you would see them behind the counter. And he said that's very standard at so many more town halls. They have this over in Northfield the same way. If you go in there and you look in the town clerk's area, you'll see a camera facing out. It's within a dome, but it's
where?
capturing in the Northfield Town Hall. It's capturing the counter area, and it's very prevalent in a lot of, Guilford has the same kind of thing.
Well, I guess my only comment on that is, I guess it would depend where the camera went, because I think our town clerk would have an issue.
Right, and I
know.
have discussed it with her, and she understands the reason for having it there. She just wants to make sure that nothing confidential can be seen.
Right.
So, this is an approximate location, but the camera C, the chief felt was important, again, to capture people entering.
Right.
And camera D is if there's going to be some type of altercation, or when there has been, it's typically been at the counter.
Yeah.
And although not always, but typically been at the counter. And also that's where, obviously we know that's where, the
But these are
money
just
is. that
video,
sort of thing.
correct?
These are just video, yeah. That's right.
Now, what about the set of doors in front of the welfare?
I was just going to ask that. Is camera D
This one get it?
enough to see
Well-
people coming in and out of that door?
That's a good question, and I did think about that. I just don't know.
I'm thinking
this looks a
break-in
lot
now.
longer here. I don't think it's that. It could well be.
What's their range?
They can go a good 40 feet. I mean, you could see a person if you can see the doorway. You could see a person, but you might not be able to see their face.
So this camera actually would be facing that doorway anyways?
It could, yeah, it could. It could possibly sit over where that one opening is that Cindy sometimes uses, and facing, towards the.
Then you're not going to get the face of the one that
Exactly,
is always
yeah.
used,
Right.
which is going to be predominantly the one that's going to be used.
So there's some trade-offs, but the
And the
thing
out-
is, I've only outlined 4 cameras here, and we could put 2 other cameras in, so we could have a camera that,
In the corner here where the light switch is,
Right.
up on
Well-
the ceiling.
We're missing the welfare director's office.
Well, if we put a switch right here,
Well, I'm not thinking so much as people going in and out of her office, because we're typically going to capture them in the C and D camera. I'm thinking about in her office where,
you can't, it's a legal
that'd
issue.
be- yeah, that would be tough. I mean,
only if we made
confidential.
it public.
You
You
can't,
could put it here,
you cannot tape
face
it.
it towards the doorway.
So if there's
this
an
way.
altercation in her office, we're not going
You
to
can't.
have any evidence that he attacked her first, or she attacked her first, or, see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I mean,
do.
we've had issues with the welfare director where she's had to bring those people out to the meeting room, and we've had to have a policeman there.
Yes,
And I've been present,
yes, we have.
because.
Right,
I've
we've been
said
asked, and I
prior,
have
right,
too.
so you know. So
Right.
I'm thinking, how do we protect her from liability when we know that contentious
Well,
people.
I'm not sure that camera's going to be the legal way to do that.
Yeah, I know that she's had an
Well, you
officer
can't
there
do audio.
before. I mean, maybe it's possible that we could put one on a switch where she could, keep it off most of the time, but if she knows she's concerned about someone being there, she could.
Does she still have, I know we all have, and
She does.
I found it today, the
She does.
panic switch, but
Yeah.
it goes to the police station. We used to have one in her desk that rang a separate bell in Town Hall.
That, I don't know that exists.
Strobe, remember?
Yeah, yeah.
That was on that one desk that was back there, and remember Dennis went to take it out and he cut the wire and the strobe went off and the police showed up and
Yeah.
everything else.
So do we still have that? Because that would be an alternative. If she's sitting in her
great idea,
office
right.
and something happens, she can immediately push that and get a response from within Town
Right.
Hall.
That's right, a very quick response.
Right.
But the PD, she's going to wait for. He's closer.
Yeah.
He might be inspecting.
Oh, yeah.
When I get a call from the front desk, we have a code. If they call me with a certain name, I come a running.
Oh, so she could do the same thing.
Yeah, but not if somebody's got their hand on it.
Right, you can't call, right.
But I mean,
They're behind the counter and they're able to
Kim,
call.
no,
Oh, I
we
see.
have a
But so
little-
she
we
would
have
have to,
thing
we'd
set
have
up.
to
Right.
figure out that panic thing
Yeah,
again.
but you make a very good point. I mean, this is beyond my involvement, but I think that it would be very handy to
Need to
have.
get Merrick
because
involved?
You need something audible that makes someone run and get out of there right away.
Well,
She needs something in there. She is
Oh, yeah.
so isolated in that
is.
little cubbyhole from the rest of us.
She needs to come out of there.
So
But she has to go through whoever is causing the altercation to get out.
I'm saying she
Exactly.
needs to come out of there altogether.
kind
Well,
of
yeah,
trapped.
but we don't have a place.
yeah, we were
We
always
were going to put her in the new police
Yeah.
department, but
Yeah.
that's not happening. All
Oh, no, not now.
Well, the
Now,
right, so
to get
camera's
back
not
to
going to work.
To get back to the cameras, the B camera, and perhaps there would maybe be, since this only shows 4 cameras here, maybe there would be 1 camera on the conference area there, or 1 camera on the elevator, or some such thing. I mean, there are other options here, but these seem to be the critical security cameras that the chief thought was important to have. So I just wanted to kind of draw it out. The other thing is that he thought the base equipment would do best in my office, going back to my office, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be there. It could be in Catherine's office on the filing cabinets or with the server. But eventually, when we put a new server in, the server's probably going to be in my office, more than likely, just because of the heat issues, too.
There should be a camera if we're going to do this in the meeting room that shows people in the meeting room.
right.
We have files in those safes, and again, I'm thinking break-in, somebody comes in, they're able to get, there's nothing valuable in there, but man, if somebody got in and destroyed,
Right.
decided to be
You would only see
destructive.
somebody walking down the hall with the cameras
Right.
that are here.
That's right.
So
And
if we
they
could-
came in that window that's...
Right,
in that
exactly.
alleyway.
So since we're capturing people here and here and here,
We've
since we're
now
gonna-
used 8 cameras.
are we going to move, leave B there or move B over in the corner?
Well, you could have one that goes,
Yeah.
there could be one like
Right.
floodlights, one going towards the halls and one going back towards, sort of capturing that
Great
room.
idea, yeah.
Something like that. And we may find that when Merrick and Ryan come, that they may say, oh, that's a great idea, but this particular camera isn't going to work because of its the area that it picks up, or, they may have other suggestions that would tweak this. But the chief thought this is what he had recommended, so. But anyway, that would give us still another camera to work with. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention. If you're okay with that, I'll let the chief know in general that this plan is okay to get started with.
Well,
We can take this back and make our own suggestions.
Yeah, it's not gonna be for the
Get
next,
together and-
it's probably a month out is what we're looking at. It's because of their schedule.
I'd like to think about it, yeah.
Yeah, so there's nothing.
Can we,
earth-shattering today.
in between now and a month, can we get a recommendation from Merrick and Ryan?
We could have them come over. It'd probably be Merrick that would come over
Yeah.
and take a look and
Okay.
review it with him. Yeah, I'll see about.
See if they can give us a recommendation.
I have one small.
And they've got to think about, like I said, break-in and
Right.
night and day.
Right, exactly.
Well, like this B, why move it over to the corner
I think
so that it would cover the safes and the window? and-
I'd rather hear from Ryan and Merrick, who do this work all the time,
Yeah,
you know, than Doug.
Agreed.
You know, nothing,
right.
Yeah,
obviously
they're going to
nothing.
look at it from police eyes.
And
Exactly.
you would have the capability up here, using one of the tablets, to be able to get into the system.
See who's coming in.
You could have one just sitting with the cameras, and you could flip between the different cameras while you're sitting here at the table if no one's downstairs.
I like that idea.
So at a nighttime meeting, we could have
That's
that
right.
sitting there, watching the doors to
Right.
see who's come in.
Yeah, and if it's
Well, the
something...
chief often sits over there, too,
If
so you
it's
could
something
have...
that you find you use an awful lot and you don't want to tie up a tablet doing it, we can take one of the old computers and dedicate it towards something like that, too, so...
Interesting.
That's up here, but those were the major things. The only other thing I wanted to let you know, which I had mentioned the other day in the department meeting, was that we're very short on cash, but I've been working with different vendors, working out plans of payments until we have the TAN facility in place, and so far so good. It's going to be very tight for the next week or so, couple of weeks, and so if I appear a little on edge,
Stressed?
it's because we're really juggling down there. The last thing was the budget. I should have the revenues and expenses loaded tomorrow, and so next week you should start to see some reports.
Good. Now, I have a couple of things that I'd like to ask while you're here, or say. My first and foremost, I know I did this on a personal level, but as a selectman and for the record, I really want to thank you for the work that you did putting this together, all of the work that you've done putting the budget, the finance information, the town report, everything building up to town meeting. It was seamless. It seemed effortless, although I know it wasn't.
Right.
So it was a lot of time, a lot of energy, and it was certainly appreciated.
Thank you.
So,
A lot
we
of
all
people put a lot of work into it, so thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that.
the other thing is, people getting paid on Tuesdays now instead of Wednesdays?
No.
Okay. I thought that was a separate,
Yes, it was a one-time thing.
okay. It's odd because I see it arrive on the,
The money, some credit unions and institutions can pick it up
okay.
the day before.
So it's not everybody that's
It's not
doing it,
No, in
okay.
fact, it doesn't come out of our bank until Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay, got
But
it.
I have a credit union that I know that is able to pick that up the night before, and they show it in a pending status.
Okay.
Or the
Right.
day before, I should say.
I had that question for a week now, and I haven't,
And I
Forgot to ask you.
I can double-check with Franklin Savings, but the file that we send specifically says the date, the active date is on Wednesday, each Wednesday. So it shouldn't be, I'm not quite sure how that works otherwise, but the money doesn't come out till Wednesday.
okay.
So, but probably because it's already processed at the Federal Reserve level, it's a foregone conclusion that it's going through.
Okay.
Are we still working now that our new weeks start on Sundays?
No, the weeks still are Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Sunday, so every Monday is the beginning of the new week.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, with that being said, I would like to make a motion to combine the two lines in the Finance Department consisting of principal long-term debt and principal user paid into one line. In the same manner, combine the two lines of interest into one, interest long-term debt and interest user paid into one line.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. I used the second paragraph, if you'd like to read it again to understand what I've done. Is there any more discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so you're all set with that?
Thank you very much.
Okey-doke.
Appreciate the kind words.
All right, thank you.
And I'm going to take these with me. It looks like you've all signed.
Yep. Okay, did they tell you downstairs what happened? Let me recap for you. Let me...
I just think.
All right, let me just recap. We had a recount vote on the moderators. There was a recount request, and that happened today under the direction of the town clerk, tax collector Cindy Reinhartz. The recount board was the Board of Selectmen at 3 o'clock, and there was, both parties there were asked to observe if they chose to, and also have another observer there. After the recount, the original count was 27
25.
Chuck Mitchell and 25 Tom Gallant. The recount came 27 Chuck Mitchell, 27 Tom Gallant. After discussing with the Secretary of State how they resolved that, if I can say this with a straight face, is a flip of the coin. And the flip of the coin, because Tom was not here, Chuck called the flip of the coin, and the flip of the coin ended in Chuck's favor, and Chuck is now our new moderator for the next three years. So that's how it worked out. Very interesting set of events.
Yes,
Yankee politics.
And is,
we're all sitting there. Here,
On with the
here,
business.
right?
it was just quite, whew. Anyway, okay, so now we come to our agenda. If I can find my papers here now. Yep. You're welcome. Okay, we've now come to the board appointments. It's that time of the year.
Oh, I'll start. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Pat Constantino to be the liaison to the police department. She's done an excellent job, and I think she needs another year.
Second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on that motion? All right, all those in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Your vote of confidence. Now, it is,
Do we have a list of
yep. Well,
who is,
I have a whole pamphlet of things here. So it's
Do we have a
the
list?
Conservation Commission.
They don't have one.
do we have?
Yes, we do
For the
have-
boards and committees, do we have recommendations from their chairs?
Yes, they're in that folder, the ones that I received for the zoning board and the conservation commission. The blue folder that says 24 Wood.
Yep. Can you help me out with the Conservation one, because I don't see the name on here.
I didn't think, do they have any?
Yeah, it says member 4, 2011, and member alternate 2 is,
But
I don't
mean,
have
they
a name on
They
here.
don't have a...
Where's the name on this?
We don't have an ex officio
They
member.
don't have an ex officio.
Oh,
Did
Are we
get the
doing
intro?
members too? Or are we just doing ex officios?
Why don't
Okay.
we get our
I
ex
got it.
officio stuff out
All
of
right.
the way, and then we can look at the others.
And then,
These are their minutes.
Liaison positions next to
Based on these minutes, I put Helen as the chairman, and I did forms for Kathy and Ben. Now, they said John Scanlon, but according to Cindy's...
He's already in it.
He doesn't expire till 2013.
okay, got it. It's Paul, and I think maybe Paul is the one that's up.
Right.
Okay.
But is there anything from the Conservation Commission
Yes.
indicating it's Paul?
Yeah.
They're minutes.
See, no, it's not. He has John from the Conservation Commission, but John's is not until 2013 expiration. It's Paul that's 2012.
Well, it should come straight from the Conservation Commission.
Yes,
That's all
so
I've gotta
we've
say.
got to
Yeah, I didn't do
email him. and-
Paul's, right. I just did Kathy and
And we'll
Ben.
hold on, okay.
And then
All
they
right.
should be notified ASAP that of the discrepancy.
Okay,
Winston said you can. Yeah.
all right, so we have police. Planning board. We have ex officio of the planning board. We have currently, well, last year was Sandy Plessner, and alternate was Joe Jessamine. Joe has expressed an interest in keeping the committees and boards, if the board so wishes, because he's not able to be here.
Typically, the ex officio positions don't expire until the ex officio's term is ended.
All right?
I mean, that's typical.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we don't need to deal with the planning board.
No other budget committee?
Catherine, can you talk more into the mic? We can't hear you.
It's over on this side, that's why.
Oh, it's headed towards, I'd have to sit over here.
So then it would be Sandy Plessner will stay on as ex officio as the planning board because her term is not expired. And then Joe Jessamine will be ex officio of the planning board,
Alternate.
alternate one. So that would probably remain intact also with the budget committee ex officio would be Catherine Dawson. Correct? All right. We do not have one.
Unless it's, it's like I'm off, if somebody, I don't mind staying. I enjoy the budget committee, but if somebody wants to
No,
try it and get
do
their
you
heart
want
set
to-
on it.
Do you want to leave it as is? We generally, all of us show up at the budget committee anyway. It's worked out well, and if you can't make it, one of us can sit up at the
Well,
desk.
you have typically been the alternate
Well,
specifically.
It
And that
hasn't
should-
been, it's not here. That's why I'm saying, should it be?
We should specifically have an alternate because you can't have two ex officio members. So if we designate the alternate,
Okay.
then that is the specific person that,
Okay, well, I guess my only question is,
Yeah.
would you be interested in being an alternate, Al? I don't know what your...
Works.
what
Your
your
work
interest
schedule
is.
is
You're working.
like alternate to budget, which starts at 7 p.m.
yeah, he'd be
Okay.
working.
Oh.
All right.
Then I'll make a motion that we appoint Pat Constantino as alternate to the Budget Committee.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I'll abstain. Is there no ex officio? Okay, for zoning,
No,
okay?
they don't.
Why is it that there is no ex officio? I always wanted to ask that.
It's a conflict.
Yes.
It's a conflict because we are the enforcement
Okay,
authority.
all right,
And
got it.
they are granting variances to what we enforce.
All right, ex officio of the Park Commission. And the, last year was Norm, and the alternate was Catherine.
I'll make a motion, we appoint Catherine Dawson to be the Park Commissioner, Park Commission ex officio.
I'll second that.
I don't mind taking it somehow, and I really don't know how I became their secretary. But go anyway.
Do we need an alternate as well? let's vote on the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we need an alternate, in case you cannot?
There should be. If something came up and I happened to be away, or
Okay.
it gives them someone else that they
You or
can...
Joe?
Don't mind Juliet.
I think
We
I'll
can
do,
wait.
I'll be the alternate.
You can be the
you'll be
alternate.
alternate? Okay,
Okay,
great.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Al as alternate park commissioner.
A second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay.
Sorry. I can't write.
The Lakes Region Planning Commission, we have the alternate position is up this year, and Norm had that. Joe Jessamine is the member till 2013.
14.
Oh, he's, right, okay. Till 2014, the alternate member. Is that something that you, as an alternate? He usually goes to them all.
I used to go to some of them. I mean, I'll do the alternate.
Anybody, I'll make a motion that, does anybody else care to do that?
It's a difficult time. It's in the afternoons usually.
Yeah.
For me, it's a difficult time.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Sandy Plessner as an alternate to the Lakes Region Planning Commission.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The Lake, no, you're still at, Catherine, until 2013, the TAC.
Oh, yeah.
In Dennis, okay. The Energy Committee, we need the ex officio was Norm. All of these, am I, wow. Am I looking at this wrong, or are we spelling his name incorrectly? We are.
Yeah.
Okay. All of these 2011 that whoever's written as Boudreau is all spelt incorrectly.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Joe Jessman to be the alternate for the Energy Committee. He expressed a definite interest in it.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
You mean the ex officio member or the alternate ex officio?
I'm sorry, the ex officio.
Ex officio member. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. In the Belknap County Economic Development,
I don't know.
yeah, Joe was interested in that, so I'd like to make a motion. Is anybody else interested in that? I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Joe Jessamine, the member for the Belknap Community Economic Development.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Pat, in the blue folder, there's a form that they would like the board to sign.
The Belknap, right.
On that one.
Push it away.
Is something else, something you would like to do, Al?
Yeah, put a shade up top here.
Oh, I know. There's a certain time of day that, you know, we usually kind of work our way around the table to stay out of the sun.
I don't know, Joyce, where we sign with
We could
this.
just move the table forward.
They're asking for his address and telephone number and signature.
You see.
Give them this address.
Yeah.
Nominee address.
Oh, okay. Just tell her
And you
that
just fill it
Joe,
in.
and then we'll give this to Joe to sign.
Right.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay.
What are your hours, Al? So, I mean, as far as what you can or can't do, I don't
Well,
know.
I get up in the morning at 12:15.
Okay, you
Then
get up
I
at 12:15.
I end up here at 11, a little after, and then I leave here between 4 and 4:15. Yeah.
And go back to work at 12:15? I know, I mean, I enjoy doing it, but maybe you would like it, is liaison to the town hall. You're here 4 days a week,
Yeah, I can do that.
and that would be ideal, you know,
Sure.
it would, he's here anyway, if he would want to do that.
Hey, I'm up for whatever anybody wants to do, I think is great.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You know, and if you go on vacation or something, I don't mind coming in, you know, I'll
Yeah.
help you out.
I'll do that.
Okay. So we'll make a motion that we appoint Al LaPlante as liaison to the town hall.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
I know.
But that would fit right in, he's here anyway.
I know. Okay, so we have highway.
Joyce is coming up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I-
all right, so we don't have that.
I think that's worked really well,
Yeah, that
And-
works perfect.
Yep.
because she's here all the time.
Yep.
Remember, the
feel-
liaison is just a communication conduit.
Yep. And the only time I hear from him is if he couldn't get a hold of her. He'll call me, so.
That's good, it works out well.
You know, and I'll say, okay, I'll either let Joyce know, or if you're gonna be by, he said, no, I'll let her know, I gotta go in anyway, so.
All right.
Works out.
If it ain't broke,
Can
don't
we
fix
just
it.
take a 2-minute break?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, no, we're going to supper.
I just want to get out of the sun. This isn't gonna work.
No, well, that's like
There you
usually
go.
I'm
I
like
got it.
this, and I'm working.
I'll move this? I'll move it.
Howdy. How are you today?
Oh, no, this is the chair, the vice chair, who does ex officio and,
Well, we talked to the other one before he left.
we all agree. We just socked it all to him.
When he comes back, he's got a big list to go by. Hope he's got a lot of time on his hands.
Teach him to miss a meeting.
He said he's at the Masters. All right. Okay. So we have all the liaisons done, right?
Are we missing anything? To highway?
Highway, you're the highway. We kept you as the highway. So do we need a motion, or are we just keeping you? We're just going to keep you, okay. It works fine. My philosophy is, if it works, why fix it?
I wish there was some other people in town too, so
I know.
You know.
They sort of just meddle into it, and then they break it. Now we got to fix it.
now we gotta fix it. All right, home and business.
Okay, we do have a slew of reappointments to committees. Okay, so I'll start with the easy one. How's that? And I'm just going to, I'm just going to say them all in one name, one motion, okay? The first one, we can do the easy one, which is chat. And I will make a motion to reappoint Judy Souzadelis. Now, all of these appointments are from 2012 to 2014, to be reappointed in the 2015.
3-year terms.
2012 to 2015, 12, 13, 14, 2014.
You don't have to make a motion for those,
2015.
because we signed
There's a
them.
little blue sticky on there.
We have to sign them, so you don't have to make a motion.
Because we're signing them, we're agreeing to it. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't really have to. Just like we don't agree
Term
to
goes from March to
sign the
March.
manifest, or as long as our
So
signature's
it's-
on there.
You'll have to correct all of these then.
I did.
Well, I know, but I've added some.
Oh, we've added some.
Yep.
Oh, you're going to stagger some, right?
No, we have a whole list that's staggered. Next year, there's 8 or 9 that are going to be reappointed.
Okay, well, the 4 that you gave me, I changed to 15.
Yep. The reappointment, next year, there'll be 5 or 6, and then the next year after that, there'll be 5 or 6. So I know it sounds like a lot, but I will name them because we agreed at our meeting the other day. Judy Suzadelis, Elaine Grace, Jean Carrigan, Cindy Gonerman, Richard Paulus, Judy Tilton, Pat Ufano, Robert Cormier, Merrick Weisensee, and Kim Souls.
They're all 3-year terms as well.
Yes. And we don't need it, we just sign them.
Our
Okay.
signing them is our testimony that they're
All right.
accepted.
And the other ones we have, it's a recommendation of the Conservation Commission to nominate Helen as chair of the Conservation. The motion passed. Has requested Selectmen reappoint Kathy Mitchell, Ben Wadley, and John Scanlon, but John is not up. So we can make an appointment for Kathy Mitchell and Ben Wadley, and then you can get with Chuck and ask him, according to this list, it is Paul Rushlow that's up.
And I'll double check with Cindy, because these are Cindy's forms.
Okay.
She's got the last form, so we'll double check.
Okay.
They need to do that one as well.
Okay,
They
also,
need to,
also, will you check on the alternate too? Do you need these papers kept together?
It will help
Okay,
after you sign them.
well,
do the
Those will
boards
keep
and
it together.
commissions have a hard time reading those forms? I know that we, yeah, I know that we do. I do.
I have an awful time.
Well, we don't have, this is how Cindy keeps track, and she's the official.
She's the official record keeper of them. So, I mean, that's my question.
Oops,
We're going to create a
this goes with this.
how to do it sheet. We should figure out something. Either we decipher it for them and send them the list to be considered.
Okay,
Let them struggle through it as we do.
Planning Board. Okay, that's verification of that. Okay, we have 2 names before us. for planning.
The planning board has met and discussed this. When we talked about this a week ago, they
Okay.
hadn't.
You're the chair. What?
Yeah, I'd like to ask permission to talk with the board about planning board.
All right.
Consider. I don't know whether you want to do it now or wait till later.
Oh, we're meeting this week, so.
I know, but I
Okay.
still like to.
Is it regarding the appointments?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
At town meeting, you don't mind my coming up here, do you? Because the sun's in my eyes, too. At town meeting, Norm came up to me and said, "Oh, I'm going to be on the planning board," and I was really surprised because I didn't know that. Okay, and then on the 20th, which was day before yesterday, at 8:57, I got an email from Gus saying to review the appointment sheet for the planning board. And then I guess I then got a form showing Norm as a full-time member, Elaine Grace as an alternate, and Judy Tilton as a full member. And I'm just bringing this up because I can see some real problems.
Where did that come from? Who sent that?
It came from Gus.
Because, I'm sorry to interrupt, but last week, it was my understanding, the planning board had not met
We have
to
not.
discuss
We meet the
those
27th.
appointments
We meet
and...
the 27th, right?
But I wanted to bring this up beforehand because as chair of the planning board, I see some potential problems. And I just wanted to bring it up.
Can you talk about the problems
Yeah, I
without
can.
using names?
We have a member who, if you, I think, here's a copy of this. There's a member on there.
I've got the copy here.
Okay, if you can share.
just wanna look at
His term expires. We have 3 people whose terms expired. One person did not want to come back,
Right.
and that is Mike Curley. He resigned.
Right.
And the other 2 both wanted to.
Don't use names, please.
Huh?
Don't use names.
not going to.
Okay.
2 of those people, one of those is listed on there, one is not. The one who is not, I have an issue with. I know it's up to you guys to say who is and who isn't, but we recommend it.
It's up to the planning board to recommend
I
first.
would recommend him based on the fact that
You can't, let me just stop you before you get into you as a chair cannot act alone as a chair.
I'm aware of that. That's
So
why we're going to
you-
have a meeting. I just want
Okay, but you can't make a statement that says you recommend him. You need to make a motion to say the entire planning board recommends or not recommends each member. I just don't want you to get in trouble with the statement. I understand where you're going.
This is very premature, whoever sent this.
That's what I think too, and I'm
Yeah.
concerned about it because I
Yeah.
think there are people that we've set a precedent in alternates in the past. An alternate's already been sworn in. We have another person who was recommended back in the fall last year. I believe you have the recommendation from the planning board to sign off on that in
Yes, we
your
do.
We do have
folders.
someone in a holding pattern.
Yeah, in a
Yes.
holding pattern. I'm just concerned. I don't want action to be taken,
You're right in your concern.
okay?
What
And it is,
happened,
the process should be that the boards meet. They discuss their appointments, their alternates. They should discuss how they see this happening, if they need a new member, if they've found one. And then that should be discussed in your minutes. And
I
then a
don't
letter
understand
from the
why-
chair,
Where this came from.
I don't either, but a
Well,
letter
if
from the
you-
chair.
if you, My question is that, what is the general policy? Because in 3 years of being selectman, I've not had this issue come up. What is the policy when a board member, any board member, seeks not to be reappointed, and you have alternate members to that board or commission?
Well, I can tell you how the way it was always handled when I worked in the office is the board would talk about it, and if the alternate was interested in becoming full-time, then, the board would agree to this, and that person would become full-time. If the alternate was content and only wanted to stay as an alternate, then we would look outside for someone to recommend. And if one of the members of the board had somebody that they knew would, then we would go on that basis. And then, of course, the recommendations, and generally speaking, what I would do is, like, if I got this list, we would talk about it, and I would say, these members, their terms are up at town meeting this year. So are these people coming back? And if they were there, they would say, yes, I am, or no, I don't want to, whatever it would be, and then we'll go forward from
Whoops.
there.
Sorry.
She's sitting right in front of the
Sorry.
speaker. So, I mean,
All
that's
right,
the way
so-
we always did it.
I guess we will not deal with this until you make
All right.
a recommendation.
I'm concerned that nothing be done because there are names on here that have not been discussed with me or with any other
Right.
person.
And you meet on Tuesday evening?
Yes.
This coming Tuesday
Yes.
evening?
Correct. And it's a part, I have our agenda already, and it's the last part of the agenda.
Okay, and then you'll recommend to us, so next week we can have a recommendation, the full members and the alternate?
Correct.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you for doing such due diligence to this.
okay, okay. Now, that probably would be the same with zoning, because they haven't met.
Zoning did discuss it, though. It's in their minutes.
Okay,
The minutes are there.
Yeah. They talked about who's going to do what. The only thing they
But those
have,
minutes haven't been approved, right? Those minutes are not approved.
Well, neither are the conservation commission.
yeah, the conservation is indeed.
So
But
we
we're
just
not-
appointed those with
we
draft
didn't
minutes?
we didn't appoint anyone to the
Excuse me.
conservation.
Excuse me, can one person speak at one time, so when Catherine does the recording, she only has one person?
Oh, that's hard.
Well,
Then you should hold the appointments for the Conservation Commission. If those are draft minutes, then that's just what they are, they're draft minutes. They haven't been approved by the board.
When does the ZBA meet again?
Not until next month.
Would they not have a meeting just to approve their minutes and go over their appointments?
When I get home, I'll suggest it to Joe and see if he, I don't know I don't know why they couldn't. They only need a couple days' notice. And unlike the planning board.
Since it's not, they're not having a hearing, it's just,
Right.
it's really just to take care of the business.
Yeah.
And maybe the Conservation Commission could do the same thing.
Okay, so we'll wait on conservation
I'll
in,
mention it to him when I get home.
Yeah,
and zoning and planning. and then
where we can get them intact.
That'll be good. Okay. Okay. So that's it for
In the
that.
meantime, we should write this down, the procedure. No, I mean the whole procedure.
Yeah.
We should try to create that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's just about all of the boards, committees, commissions.
The only other one I saw in here, but I don't think it, that was taken care of. Energy. Oh, the Lakes Region Technical Advisory Committee, that's Catherine Dawson and Dennis Allen. Okay,
It doesn't expire till next year.
okay, all righty. Recycling. Look at that.
Okay. So we'll just sign these, and, I know. Now the sun's on me. It's going to be on Sandy in a minute. Okay, is there any more issues or concerns from the public? All right, we'll continue on.
He's out there.
It's moved. It's kind of brutal. That's all right.
All right, these are all signed. Where's the conservation ones? We're holding those, right?
Yep.
Okay, put that over there for Joyce. Nope. That's fine. All right, approval of the minutes.
I'd like to bring the minutes of March 12th to the floor for discussion and approval.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. If I can find them. Oh, yeah.
I read them. I didn't see any problems with them.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of March 12th, 2012.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Abstain?
Abstain.
Okay. March 17th,
Make a motion, we bring the minutes of March 17th to the floor for discussion and approval.
second?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, this was the one the 2-minute one in front of, at town meeting, okay. I make a motion, we accept the minutes of Saturday, March 17th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. I'll pass around the non-publics for 126 and the non-public for 16.
Are we going forward after this meeting? I'm trying to sitting and think, we've never approved the minutes of the non-public. Is that something we could do in non-meeting? When we come into the office?
And just
Because we
initial it?
initial them, yeah.
Right,
Save some time.
we could do that. I like that idea.
Yeah, me too.
I see a correction on this one. Actually, I'm going to change.
If we found...
It's underlined anyway. You have it underlined, Catherine, on this. That means you've already made the correction? Okay.
You know, if we saw something in them that
Well, wait a minute.
would really change...
These are already initialed.
Those are the ones that you...
Right.
If we saw something that really changed the substance of it, then we could bring it forward to the
Right.
selectmen's meeting for discussion.
This is, so we just need to initial this envelope. We've initialed already the minutes. Did we initial those?
No, these haven't been initialed. These haven't been read.
Right there.
The same with this, too. All of us, Catherine, all 5 of us have done this, so we just need to seal the envelope. So all we need is the 126.
That's what I've got, yeah.
Okay,
I'm just,
and that's it.
this was that one.
Joyce, I have a question on confidential legal correspondence. What's going on with the interrogatories on one of them?
Lauren and I had worked the last day that she was here in March, pulling together answers to the questions. We sent that to our attorney. Our attorney is writing them up along with her answers, and then we're just waiting for her to give them to the board to review. Not an extension from the other
Okay. So we're just waiting on the attorney.
our attorney to send us.
Okay.
Nothing will go out until the board has.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna... Oop. Okay, that interruption was, Senator Forster is tied up at a case right now and does not expect to get here any time before 7:30. I've asked to reschedule it.
Sounds good.
Okay?
Excellent idea.
I think so, too. I knew you'd love me for that, Al.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, so, Joyce, you're up.
Just quickly to follow up on the board appointments. I had originally met with Cindy to go over her sheet to confirm on terms, because I had some questions on terms. And then I prepared that spreadsheet, gave it to Gus. I said, Gus, according to my records and Cindy's records, these are the terms that are vacant or need reappointments. And then I included, and these are names that have come forward, that there are appointment forms that have expressed an interest in the planning board. I said, please send this to the chairman of the planning board and to Sandy as the selectman's ex officio, so that the planning board could have that information to discuss at their
information.
next meeting.
Okay.
Right.
Nothing was meant to be reappointing people.
Okay.
Or to do
It was
that.
misconstrued.
Right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Just so you know, that Scott called back,
Oh, he did?
and that we don't have to pay that. His exact words were that the technician should have wired that prior to leaving the building on the day that he did his final wiring.
Yes.
And so that we do not need to pay that bill.
Okay. All right.
Good thing.
Good. Okay, in your selectmen's to-be-signed folder, you want to do those first? Mm-hmm. You know where that is?
Yep. I got it. Okay. The PARs or,
The PARs.
okay. Now, I have a question on this,
Supplemental warrant.
no, this letter here that is for disabled.
This is an individual who has applied and received this and qualified for this exemption in the past. The deadline for filing the form is March 1st, and she's requesting that the selectmen still accept this, even though it was untimely filed. And the reason it was untimely filed is that she didn't see the date on the form. She knew it was in the month of March, but she didn't know it was March 1st.
When did it actually come in?
It was date stamped March 20th. This letter's dated March 19th, though.
And
She's qualified and,
in the past has received?
yes.
Okay.
So the next thing would be for us to give this to Lauren, and Lauren would then calculate it. This is for the 2011 taxes.
Is it?
What's the consensus of the board?
If she's qualified and she just didn't see the date.
It can be confusing because I believe the elderlies are April 15th.
And that's what she said, too. She was
The regular elderlies. This one is March 1st. They should have them all
It's
be
right
the
at the
same
top.
day. I know, she said she didn't see it.
It's right at the top. How long has this person been receiving this?
I'd say, what, 4 years? 3 or 4 years.
So this is basically a renewal?
That is correct. She files every year.
I make a motion to accept it.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to accept it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, I want some discussion. I want to go on record.
No, it goes to
The
Lauren.
reason I'm willing to accept it is because it is a renewal.
Right.
If it was brand new, I would not accept it. So I would like that in the record.
Okay, that's fair. I would agree with that. That would be my,
Just in case.
that would be my reason as well.
Yeah.
Now,
Can we put this back in the to be signed? So I can close it?
this one.
So it goes to Lauren before we sign it?
Okay.
No, we have to sign it, and then it goes to Lauren for,
No, wait till she, because she's got to,
Lauren's
yeah,
gonna-
because she's got to fill the amounts in.
She's going to process it.
One of the things is that you can't exceed a certain percentage of the equalized assessed value, and she keeps track of all that. There should have been a letter attached to that, if you would.
oh, is that the Avatar one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Explaining what that is.
So, she wants us to agree? This is,
Yes, that was from,
it's lower than,
no, we're adding $212,000 of value.
oh, adding. I thought it was, all right, let me just read it.
I
Just do this report to find out. and revalued. Okay, revalued the right-of-way as well as added any conduit. Okay. All right.
I confirmed all this with Lauren, since that was Gary that does the utilities, is that this supplemental is based on the actual inventory that the company submitted late. All of this is still under appeal, and she said, although the Supreme Court decision in Rochester is supportive of what we have done, but we still have to wait and see, because this is, this appeal for the 2011 is before the Board of Selectmen. But we have to get this out before the end of this tax year. Our tax year runs from April 1st to March 31st. So in order to recoup the 2011, we can only bill in that tax year. So Cindy said that she'll have the bill mailed out next Friday. I guess she's going to be out for a few days.
Okay, I guess I'm confused by this one.
Thank you.
I'm reading a corrected value. So are they adding this amount to this amount?
Right now, the assessed value for 2011 is $946,200. As part of their appeal process, they submitted documentation.
I got that,
And based upon the documentation that they submitted,
which was nothing.
she has added additional value to coincide with the documentation that they submitted.
Okay, so, I'm adding it in my head trying to get the 1194, and it's the 1158200 I should be looking at, right? 67845. Yep, okay, I see what we're doing, so, yeah, okay,
Right.
now I get it.
But their 2011 is still under appeal.
Well,
No, we haven't. I gotta
And they're
read
still
these.
contesting, the company's still contesting the legislature's decision that allows towns to tax their poles and conduits.
this says, on the second page, tax collector's supplemental property tax warrant 2011. County of Belknap, State of New Hampshire, from May 1st, 2012, and thereafter, on all sums not paid on or before that date.
That's the date that it's due.
That's why it's got to be before April 1st, okay. Okay.
Yes, Cindy assured me that it will be dated March 30th. I'm going to move this back from you. Are we all set with the PAR forms?
I passed them down there. Catherine's got them.
Okay, the next thing is that we received some donations for chat, and I need a motion from the board to accept these donations.
Oh, I would gladly do that.
Okay, this is the first one. And the second one, I thought I told it.
Terminating.
And the money has been deposited.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the donation to the senior center in the amount of $1,630. This is the proceeds from the auction from Ken Barrett.
Second? I was thinking you were going to do them all.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. And then,
It's from the raffle, the bake sale, and the...
we total them.
I thought I did. Came to like $401. It may be on the copy that's in the UB sign folder. If you just want to, for the record, just read what each one was.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the donations in the amount of $92.01, $59, $210, and $85, proceeds from tickets and raffles to this Tilton Senior Center.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
In your packets, I gave you an update on certain cases that we have. So I just want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to review it, because that's the primary one I want to bring to your attention. So a copy of that communications in your Selectmen's Legal.
Is it really? Yep, it surely is all day long. Online. I'm not signing the first one.
I don't understand if it's a sealant, why would it be changing color? Does it, no, I know when you put a sealant on wood, it somewhat enhances the grain of the wood, which kind of looks like you're changing the color. Is that what the intent is here?
Right.
So it would bring a deeper color, it wouldn't change it white or something like
He
that?
didn't say what color would change it to. He just said that it was more like a paint that would change the color of what we have now. And he just wanted to be sure that that was the correct product.
Did he
Because you would
say,
think that, well, that's why he's going to be speaking with Mr. Hickey
That's for the exterior.
for exterior.
I'm not in favor of a paint that changes the color. I'm in favor of a sealant that, I don't have an issue if it deepened the color, if it were clear. Obviously, it would, right, it would make it look deeper, richer, but not a sealant that's going to change the color.
Right, and that's what Mr. Aho said. I don't think they want to change the color.
No, we don't.
So that's
I
why-
would think that that would significantly change the
And then he also wanted to
Value.
talk with him about the interior paint that is recommended in that report. So as soon as he talks with Mr. Hickey, then he'll call John back and then bring something forward. But he's still planning on doing all this work. And we did impress upon him that we need to do this sooner than later. You know, as soon as possible, we have to get this resolved.
It would be really nice. Now, have they taken care of the mitigation in the interior?
Yes,
with-
they have.
They have done that?
Yes.
Okay.
And Joe was there.
MMRS is fine with that now?
As far as I
Great.
know.
Okay.
No, Joe it was wonderful. He stayed there the whole 4 hours while they did it.
Good.
Do we have the product that the Turner has recommended?
In here is the report. Some of that is kind of soft.
It is? We got to start putting it in the refrigerator now. We do not want soft chocolate. Right, Al?
with some of the piles of chocolate we get, we might have to get a bigger refrigerator.
Next year's budget.
Because they're going to have to give up Coke space for the chocolate.
No. problem is, the softer they are, the nicer they go down. You want another one?
Yep.
Oh, Al. Listen,
That's for Kathy.
case.
One in there for Kathy, too.
W-2? I filled it out, I'll have to have a conversation with Tim. So if he asks why it's not completed, it's 90% complete.
What did you say?
I said, if he asks why it's not complete, it's only 90% complete.
Oh, okay, that's not,
I'm a little tired, so if I'm slopping over my words and saying
Catherine,
something weird, please let me know.
Catherine, I can't remember, did I give you one to put into Joe's folder to update his? I didn't, all right, I still need to do that.
Okay.
All right. On this one, if you want to read it. Yeah, it's slowly going around. Now you're the one that's zapped.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Is that right?
Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I bet.
Oh,
Okay, no, that's not a problem.
I'm almost done.
Bruce?
why would they recommend a product? Have we paid Turner yet?
Well, they got it on
No.
the bottom of the,
Good.
Yes, we did. I believe that was in the manifest last week.
Oh, that's the one I held and then released.
see,
Why?
Well, why would they recommend a coating that's going to change? This is a paint.
yeah,
So why would they recommend a coating? When you have a building, it's obviously decorative concrete block. Why would they recommend something that's going to change that?
I totally agree.
it sounds to me like I was saying, probably they should have had some kind of documents that show that they didn't have to.
The stock. You mean, Sandy?
Maybe you could bring that up at their annual meeting.
Yeah,
I keep this?
Well, if you just make me a copy of it, I'll bring it up. When is their annual meeting?
oh, wait, there's a thing now.
No, there's not. It's not, doesn't say a date.
Oh, there's no date on it? Oh, my God.
It just says this is the supervisors of the checklist will be meeting on March 24th.
Oh, okay. So
That's it.
doesn't-
So
all right.
when is the Water District annual meeting?
We'll have to look. I know it is in April.
Yeah.
They do it on a weeknight, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
they
my
do.
guess
It's like
would
a
be-
Monday night.
So, yeah, because they get to pick when they're meeting. It's
Like the
gonna be-
fire commissioners, they pick odd nights.
Right, and they don't have a website
So
that
you're
we can
tired when you
check.
get up the next morning. And you feel beat up.
All right, so did you,
Slapped a few times.
did you want to read this out loud?
Called Tilton trash.
Did you spread this around? This just came in today. You just gave it to Sandy.
I'm watching myself. Oh, yeah, I just read this.
Oh, you read it, yeah, but did you want to read it out loud, or?
Oh, do you want it read out loud? Well, no, because we didn't read it out loud when we
Okay.
were going through the process.
Okay,
No,
all right.
I don't really.
Did you get a chance to look at those stop signs and do not
Yes.
enter signs? Were you going to do that under your reports?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I received a complaint about cars not adhering to the one-way sign on Peabody Street. When you're coming in from Winter Street, either heading towards the high school or coming away from the high school, there is a sign there, but it's
Right.
hard to see, so people are turning in there. And also, they wanted to know if the speed limit could be posted. I went back and researched through the last time we looked at this. Remember, we looked at the speed limits at Cedar Street to find out if it was in fact 15 miles an hour. It is 15 miles an hour.
No, it's not.
It's 20.
It's 20.
Right. So I didn't, so the chief and Dennis were going to talk, and,
Did you talk with, on Peabody Street?
We did. He came over to my office today and we looked at signs together.
So what was the recommendation? What did you come up with for?
I showed him in the uniform manual, traffic manual, how they want it set up. Basically, it's got to be posted on both sides with do not enter and then black and white arrows. And so he's going to order them.
I guess I'm lost. Isn't Peabody Street already one way?
it is.
But it doesn't really signify one way on one end of it. It doesn't really show the sign on one way on one end of it, the Winter Street end.
Improperly marked?
Right, yes, improperly
They want it
signage.
so that-
Caught up.
They want it so if you're 100 feet away,
Right.
you know before you get to the intersection
That it's one way? Correct,
That's why the arrows.
right. And the other thing is that they would love the speed limit adjusted. Currently, it's 20 miles an hour, correct? And that's a short street to go 20 miles an hour on. What's your recommendation?
Yeah, yes, my opinion, I say 15 is plenty for that little road. You know, it's got a bend in the middle, there's a lot of children that play.
Yeah.
Houses are close to the street.
I tried to, I went around it and then went around again and did the speed limit, and I wasn't comfortable doing the speed limit on that road.
No.
I sat there this morning, and then the lieutenant did for a while, and we got the email when you guys got it, and we already put up a direct patrol there.
Okay.
The speed limit sign, he's got write the tickets there. Dickie did write one ticket yesterday there.
When we made the changes in the speed limit on the side roads last year, were they very specific to the roads, or did we do the secondary roads, the town roads?
I thought we listed the different roads.
Do we list them as, like Prospect Street and
No, but I thought
Church Chestnut?
I thought it somehow, I'll have to look in the minutes again, but I thought it somehow referred to the Cedar Street and all of surrounding, adjoining streets.
Oh, okay, that's right, I think you're
Something
right.
like that.
Yeah,
I think you're right on that.
everything in the downtown district.
Now, what about Deer Street? Should that also be, is that a 15 mile an hour, or is that 20 mile an hour?
That's 20. We haven't had any complaints there.
Yeah.
And that's straight.
But it's confusing. If we start putting 15 miles an hour on, this street,
Yeah.
20 here and 25 there, for the streets in this village area, this downtown area, what are these, Class 4 roads? Is it Class 4?
No, they're all Class 5.
Are they all Class 5? We should,
They need to be,
within this area, we should try to be uniform.
yeah.
You get down Peabody, get onto Winter, it's a different speed, and then you flip over to different speed. It's like we're setting up speed traps.
Right.
Yeah, it does. I mean, even when you come down Main Street, I find it kind of hairy when you're just coming this way and that little bit of a curve that's right there. You never know when someone's going to be backing out. I always slow down. And usually you end up with the guy behind you honking at you like, get out of the way. But, you never know. You can't really see if someone's backing up until you're actually, the car's turning a little to see it. So I do 15.
I'll tell you, I've backed out of Colby Road a few times and almost gotten clipped with them coming speeding, uphill speeding.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
Yeah.
And they got hit by the lady in the school bus today. Came up over that hill, she said, I'm only doing 30, check. You might be doing 30, going too fast.
Wow.
Could not see, he wouldn't stop.
And they can't see you if you're backing out.
Right.
You can't see it. Well,
So there is no speed limit sign there now?
Not on,
and you're going to continue to monitor it. Was it your recommendation to Dennis to get a speed limit sign, or are you waiting for us to make a decision?
I asked them to put one out there. We felt that, obviously it was one way, so we just needed one northbound, and you were going to find the first good spot north of the intersection of Main and Hughes. Right-hand side.
I think if you're going to monitor it for a while, then perhaps maybe it may deter a few. And then if we put the correct signage up.
How many streets do we have that don't have any speed limit signs?
Get a count. Usually, they have a rule that it's not posted in
You take it.
areas.
Should we take in consideration and go around and put signs up before things do happen?
Yeah,
Be a little proactive?
some of the smaller roads probably should have them, because if we write tickets out there and it's not posted,
They can get thrown out.
well, they're going to be held to a 30-mile-an-hour standard, so.
I don't know. Yeah, well, I think I was
So let's hold off on the speed limit for now, and then
going to talk to Catherine about
once you've ordered this,
because we're in the process of doing
except if it's not posted, then it's automatically 30. We can't do that. We either have to post
and if it
20 or
turns out that it's
post
town
15, one or the
road,
other.
Then it's not.
We have to have it posted. There's no way that they can travel 30 miles an hour on that road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll
that's going to
get
hurt
back to
somebody.
you after I've had a chance to sit down with Catherine and talk about it.
I mean, the ordinance
Because I
covers
did
all
look
those
up that deed.
20-foot.
That's the
They could
sale
argue that-
between the people that
It could go either way in
had
court.
owned it and these people. And it makes
I
reference to...
wouldn't want it more than 20.
I can't find anything because, on the,
Would help.
No, I think Catherine has a point, though. If we arbitrarily take a street that has a complaint that they're going too fast on my street, and I was down there, I know, I traveled it, and we changed the speed limit. Now we have the speed limit changed on one street, not on another, and then on another, and people are going to get confused. Even though it's posted, they're still going to get confused. Why are some 15, some 20? I think we have to have some uniformity to the system. And perhaps maybe you can come up with a recommendation to either put them all at 15 for the roads or all at 20, one or the other, and enforce them. But somewhere along the line, we have to get a posted sign. For now, it's only my opinion, I want to hear from the rest of the board, that we should put a posted 20 mile an hour up there, and then you can effectively enforce it.
I agree with you.
So aren't you recommending 15?
I think if it's not posted, then it's probably best.
Because they're small streets.
It is a tiny street. I personally would recommend 15, but
15 would be the way to go with it. That's my personal opinion.
It's like this long.
I know. But can you isolate that to the rest of the street? I mean, it is away from the village a little bit.
Most every street we have are narrow and short, or they're curvy. So if 15 is put into place, I think that's what we should be going with, 15.
Make it uniform
Right.
throughout this
The district,
Yep.
the little,
compact area,
yeah.
residential neighborhoods.
So we'd have to check with Dennis to see how many signs would need to be replaced if the selectmen voted to go ahead and change the speed limit from 30 to 15, from
Because
20
that's
to
not in the
15.
budget.
20 to
Oh, it's
15.
not in the budget.
You know, after we changed it last time, he did put up some 20s. And I think 20's good for Cedar Street. It's just a little fast.
Well, you know, I think 20 is a little fast for Cedar Street, too. But Cedar Street and High Street and Chestnut and Prospect all have 20s on them
Yeah.
now.
We have a prima facie speed law in the state.
What's Deer Street? Is that a 20?
So
That gets
if you
a lot of
left it at
traffic.
20, and it was raining,
I don't think it's posted.
couldn't an officer make a decision they were going too fast at 20?
It needs to be resurfaced.
And then if it's not posted there, and it's
Does Deer Street actually have a sign, a posted sign? Speed limit? And it's a 20? Okay.
I know we've been writing tickets on Cedar quite a bit in the last couple weeks.
Yep.
And they're getting them above 20, no problem. Mike, I'll put a 20 up there and we'll just watch it and monitor it. We're going to be out there anyway.
Is that something that we could utilize? Well, no, we have to do something now. I was going to ask if we could utilize the trailer up there for a week. I think we need to do that. Peabody Street's a very short, narrow street, and it kind of bends a little bit.
There's a house for sale, a blue house. Driver this morning, I can see the
You know, we have to take some type of action, either put a 20 up there or a 15, so what's the board's
What's it now?
consensus? There's nothing up there
Nothing.
right now.
Just put,
And
just
if
put,
there's
Dennis
nothing
have a
up there...
20? He must, does he have a 20? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't feel the need to make a decision right now on that. I mean, I really don't. It's been that way for, years. And if the officers practice the prima facie speed law, that would take care of somebody who's, traveling on it recklessly, too fast. And then we could, judiciously look at our streets and decide if we're going to go 20 or 15. No matter what we post it all comes down to the enforcement side. We can put a 10-mile-an-hour speed limit sign there, but if we don't have patrol and enforcement, it's a waste of money.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Well, do you think most people know what the prima facie speed limit is? If they don't see a speed limit sign?
I would say for the $21, put up a 20, and then we look at what is, we do some type of study and make a decision within the village, the small area, sometime within the next month or two to make it either all or the other way, and then we can change it next year and put that in the budget with all new signs. We can do that. Does that sound like a plan, or is everybody okay with it?
when we want to go with 15?
we went with 20 on some of the side roads, and somebody probably could argue if we went with 20 on Cedar Street, why would we go 15 on Peabody Street?
Here's our prerogative to put 15 up and go with it.
I hear you.
There is no argument. Speed limit's 15, it's 15.
What's the speed limit on Winter?
30.
All the way from Route 3 up?
Even in the school zone?
Is it 30 all the way up? Even, like you said, even through that school zone, kids
Well, no,
walking to school?
No, they have a school zone. They have a flashing school zone sign. State Road?
Yeah, we can,
Yeah, but we have a school zone on Route 3.
During a certain time, right?
But is it posted for school zone on that road? I was going to say, I didn't notice.
No, we're talking school hours,
And it's
school in
30.
session. We're talking
So
school,
if you come out Peabody
as in
Street,
school from
30 mile an hour.
when it starts until they are done with their activities at night.
just an hour in the morning.
So it's a short road. Ain't gonna matter, because you're gonna go right onto a 30 mile an hour road that we can't control, right?
We can't enforce it if it's not posted.
Right, that's what I mean. If you're gonna make a sign, make it 15. I'd say if you're gonna make a sign, make it 15. Can we're gonna have a difficult time changing the speed limit on their road, right?
What road?
Winter. I'd make it 15. You're just gonna go out onto a 30 mile an hour road that right now we can't do much about. Same thing with Route 3. There's no connector road. It's straight from state road to state road, so I'd make it 15. If you're gonna make a sign, make it 15.
Right, and that might
I think.
discourage people from even using that to cut off Route 3 and
Only if we
11.
have the enforcement behind it. You guys, can you have the guys, once that sign's up, to start patrolling it? A little kind of during the busy times? I imagine that must be afternoon.
Well, when they let out of school, when they're going to school in the morning, you see people using it.
So I'll make a motion that we change the speed limit on Peabody Street to 15 miles an hour and direct our highway director to order a sign forthwith.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion? Go ahead, Chief.
Just, I looked it up, and before we did all the secondary streets in 20, we had changed Chestnut Prospect.
Oh, they are at 15.
Chestnut is 15?
Oh, good, okay.
So you just adding...
What about Cedar?
You're adding
Cedar's
to
20.
Chestnut Prospect, and adding... Those are the streets that
Chestnut Prospect and Academy are 15, and now we're adding Peabody.
Why don't we plan to look at those roads this year?
Yep,
And
we'll
make
look at
sure
the other
we
ones.
budget monies for changing them over for next year.
They all have the speed limit signs up there now. They're posted currently, except Peabody, of course, but... So now we have the West and
Chestnut?
High and Pine and all of them to deal with. Okay.
So what happened to your motion then?
It's still in discussion. Chestnut, Prospect, Academy.
Could you, do you have the technology, Chief, to kind of make a chart and a map and actually show which streets are what mile an hour?
Which ones are 15, which ones are 20, which ones are...
30? Visually, it'd be a lot easier.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, let's vote on the motion. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Right?
Right?
Aye.
And then just a couple of updates. Catherine, on Best Pocket Park, I sent another reminder to
I saw that.
Mr. Miles.
Thank you.
Okay. Remember, they're supposed to
Has he
be...
responded?
No.
You just sent that the first of the week.
No. And I haven't heard anything back on 307 Main Street. Or I'm not going to hear anything from them, because you already spoke to them.
No, it's in a holding pattern for the planning board to discuss. Jane's going to talk with Dennis. And
Where does this come from?
Dennis gave that to me at his
Okay.
plan for the state
So-
aid roads.
This is Dennis's plan.
Yes,
Okay.
Dennis did that.
can
Okay.
we ask Dennis to put kind of grade these roads in order of need. I noticed he has River Road on there, but that was recently top-coated in the sewer project. I mean, I can kind of pick out the roads like Clark and Colby. They're kind of desperate, and Kayla. Brook Road is a very short connector road. Part of it is done, part of it isn't.
489,000. That would definitely have to be a project.
Lancaster Hill Road, I think didn't they top coat that all the way?
No,
And they're gonna
not
finish
all
it?
the way. They didn't finish it all.
They're going to finish it this year?
Are they, I don't know if they're going.
Last I heard, they're going to,
And
you
there
know,
was
just-
one in there, Brook Road.
yeah, it's a little short connector.
Yeah, he said before he would accept that from the state, that that's what he would do to it. He would
I
want-
wouldn't accept Brook Road from the state.
Not, well, I shouldn't say accept, if we're going to do the work.
Where's
before he would-
Church Street now?
We can do this, we can do the work, but we don't have to
Silver
accept it.
Lake.
Where, you know, we're right across almost from the Grange Road, the road that goes back, that's Church.
Oh, yes, yes, okay, I
So
know.
could you ask
Off
him
of
to,
29 Beach.
You want him to grade them?
Actually, give us a
Priority.
list of, and I would like his opinion of how he would combine the roads for projects.
Well, see, Grange Road too, because that was just done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's only top coated. It really, the ditching, the
Right.
base was not dealt with. It was just given a new dress.
Yes.
Isn't that a state road?
Unlike,
petticoats.
these
These
are
are
all
all-
states.
Oh, and Al needs,
Did we pave them?
no, this is to do a
Do you have one of these?
1/3.
I got it, right there.
Oh, you do have it?
I already read it, yeah.
I think this is great that you have this.
Oh, this is fantastic.
All state
It's
roads,
a lot
yep.
of work. He used the state's
Right.
bid process and prices to do this.
Yes.
That's quite a book. I have a copy of that myself.
The only other thing I have is just to bring to your attention that at the Northfield Town Meeting, they had a warrant article to appropriate $15,000 for the island repairs, and it did not pass.
My understanding is the
Engineering.
Northfield Selectmen did not recommend it.
Recommend it.
Yeah.
Do we know why?
No, I tried to find out, but we would have to ask them individually.
Do they understand that the island will disappear soon?
What-
The
it
meeting
was-
that Pat and I attended,
That's right.
it was very clear that, in fact, they even proposed the language of
language.
the article.
They
Right.
proposed the language of the article, they were in favor of the article.
Right.
They were going to vote in favor of the article. When we left there,
Yeah,
we,
I saw that. She just
okay,
handed it to me.
when we left there, they said, then they took a vote and said they weren't in favor of it.
Oh, they took it the same night?
I don't know, same night. Budget committee voted against it. They voted against it.
Perhaps we should get on their agenda and ask them
Why?
what they think.
We would like to hear from them why.
What we think we should do now.
See what
If they,
night we can meet them on.
if they intend to allow the island to revert back to just a patch of scrub out in the middle of the river, then we shouldn't expend any monies in maintaining it.
That's
It's
a
a shame we
shame.
can't take over ownership of it.
That is a shame. I just think that people should be outraged at that.
There is a way to do that, but I believe you have to notify all of the heirs and ask their permission.
Right.
And I think we should get on top of it before we lose it.
Might be something to think about doing.
And then they'll fight us on that. Doesn't matter. You say yes, they say no.
Right.
Well, I know, it's,
And
Doesn't matter.
just a reminder that school district meeting is on Saturday.
Yep.
is it at 8 o'clock?
No, I think they start theirs at 9.
9.
Is it, yeah, I think it's at 9.
So this seems like an unusually long week.
It is. Very long week.
It's a long month.
Let me tell you.
Before I forget, it has to do with the meetings at this, I asked Tim to prepare a debt schedule for us that would show our obligations, not only just the town, but the fire district and the school district, so we would see our total indebtedness. It'll take him a little while to do that, because he's obviously got to wait until after the school district meeting. That way, we'll have a very good idea of exactly what the town of Tilton owes.
Well, that would all be in their town reports, their total.
Yeah, but I'd like to see all of those pulled together
Bless you.
on one sheet. I think it's something that as selectmen we should know when we're making decisions to, and I'm just thinking of these projects.
Well, I know at the
Get
school,
into more debt.
they were able to rewrite some of their debt to shorten the term and get a little, pay less
Save interest, yeah.
So, okay, that's all I
Great.
have.
Okay, I have just a couple of things. We have a thank you note from, it says, "Dear Board of Selectmen, I want to thank you for changing how we get to vote by ballot. For those of us who are either handicapped or like me, just not quite up to a lot of walking and standing, changing the system so we don't have to walk as far and/or stand in those long lines is a huge improvement. It's the difference in voting comfortably, and I'm sure for some voting at all, in struggling. Thank you for thinking of us. Sincerely, Marge Hutchinson." And this is, I'm sure this was an oversight, so I'm going to... This is, knowing the kids, I'm sure it was an oversight. The Winnisquam Regional Middle School, this is from the Kids That Care group, from the Winnisquam Region Middle School. Appreciate you letting us put our donation boxes and penny jars around the Northfield Town Hall, and I'm sure they meant also the Tilton Town Hall, and supporting the Franklin Animal Shelter. Those donations really helped contribute to the animals in need. Thanks, the Kids That Care. In that. We have New Hampshire Select Persons Institute. Al, you've been, right? You've already been to the...
Yep, already been.
Okay. And then we have the annual report, the State of New Hampshire Comprehensive Annual Financial Report.
Just don't blame.
Okay. All right, I have two things to bring to your attention. We now have for sale for our spaghetti dinner tickets, Wednesday, April 18th, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Lockmere Golf and Country Club. It's $10 for spaghetti dinner, and all the proceeds go to the Tilton Senior Center. We have tickets here at Town Hall. All of our chat committee members have tickets. And also, they'll be selling them very shortly at Polly's Restaurant. The other thing I have is, once again, with the new board, I'm bringing this up. We have a check for $55.45 that we received in lieu of the scrap furnace that was at the Tilton Senior Center. I would like to make a motion to deposit this into the general fund and ask the selectmen that we reallocate this to the Tilton Senior Center. That's my motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Now I'll hand over the check. Okay. Sandy, do you have anything for us?
Well, I was just going to say, did everyone get a chance to look over the job description?
I did. I liked it.
Anybody have any issues, any changes?
I made a list of the changes I talked about last week. On the health officer, under supervision received, to eliminate the first sentence, works under the broad supervision of the Board of Selectmen. And this comes straight from the statute, to put instead, the health officer shall be the secretary and executive officer of, and with the selectmen shall constitute the local board of health for the town. That'll help people better understand. Then, as I said, on the second page, prepare an annual inspection schedule. We probably should amend it later once we have programs in place that would
Right.
generate.
Yep.
And then the other one is notify applicant or violator of compliance or non-compliance with written reason for non-compliance. There are small issues that are taken care of immediately, so there's no reason to write, I mean, I keep a report of it.
Right.
That I've gone there, who I spoke to, what I did, but they don't get a written notice that they have to comply within a certain amount of time because, you know, they removed the object, they've corrected it.
I think when we were writing that,
I would put, when applicable.
well, I was going to say, because I can appreciate, I know when Joe did your job, there were times when he would have a verbal conversation that was taken care of immediately, but then there were also those that he would come back to
Yeah.
see if anything had been done, and no, it hadn't.
Yeah.
So then a letter had to go out, so he had record, you know, and it became part of the record, so that if then if they didn't proceed, you had something that there that
That's
said...
absolutely right. So, like I said, I would just add when applicable or
Okay.
when necessary after it.
Okay.
Do you want this to
Yeah,
have that
I
first?
need the notes.
Sandy, could you mark up what she said, because we were having trouble hearing?
She has it written.
I'll make you a copy of it, okay?
Do you want a copy of this that I've marked?
Yeah.
Where-
And I'll just mark it up and give you a copy.
Thank you for doing that. That sure does, that must have been time consuming.
Well, we want to write, right?
I know, but wow, that's a lot of work. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the fact that Joyce also helped quite a bit.
Wow, Joyce. Thank you. You see this?
Catherine, do you have some more?
Look at this. This is their expenses.
Nope,
This is their
looks good.
charges for service.
Well, they're going to sign them once they're final. They're going to sign them once.
Yes.
Pretty close, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Makes you wonder if they couldn't do it for, right, a little less?
Yeah. Do you have anything for us?
Me? Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for Al, but I forgot. Yes.
Oh, boy, she's got a book. Al, watch this.
No, this is the, real quick, number 4 is an FYI. It's a new year. It's been a while since we have made a motion to indemnify employees, boards, committees, all of those who serve the town. I was going to write something up, and I thought better of it, and I emailed the local government center and asked them, because I do know that they have a template statement all prepared that they like to see us use. So that should be coming, and we'll do that in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
I talked to Bob Hoy, he had called. He had gotten some estimates, and in fact, some companies declined to bid on the wall project out here, specifically scaffolding. He had one company that bid on it, and just the scaffolding for that was a little over $7,000.
Wow.
So he asked if he should go ahead and just, prepare a bid for as a cost, based on them using ladders and getting up as high as they can.
I mean, as high as they can.
But it's either got to get the job done or not. Right here, in between the
The
buildings.
wall in between the inn and the in here.
It has to be repointed all the way through.
I probably have enough to keep tomorrow on.
But I think the problem, Tom, is though, with the scaffolding, it has to be the width, and also it goes from, it narrows.
Remember the old pipe scaffolding people used to cob together and just use 2x12s? Attach it to the building?
I think I got a problem with reaching as far as I can, because
Well, on a ladder.
reaching as far as I can doesn't get the whole job done. I'd rather have the feeling that I'm going to use scaffolding, and I'm going to go all the way up, and I'm going to get it done completely.
The problem is we haven't bid for $7,000 worth of scaffolding.
Yep.
But I will get them in contact with you if that's okay.
I mean, it may be that I've got enough to do a certain section of it, in a wider part, as he goes down, and then he can,
Yeah,
I don't know if we get a price from it.
I don't either. But if it's okay, I'll give them a contact number for you.
Yeah, I'm calling myself.
Okay. The other side of that is we need to speak with the owner of the inn, because the only way we can do that is if that roof comes down.
Yes, yep.
The air conditioner comes down, and it looks like he has a new heating unit or something on the wall. All that's going to have to be removed.
That's been there a while, though.
A new heating unit?
Why can't you go around it?
Well, you could, but it's
Right.
it really
it's-
comes out.
Pretty narrow.
It comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to stand where it protrudes and then be able to do what you have to do on our building.
And if you're going to put scaffolding in there, it's definitely in the way. Mm-hmm. The other thing, too, is you don't want to take the chance, because you're in such narrow quarters, of damaging it.
We're talking about pointing bricks, not putting bricks in.
Well, they're going to be climbing up there.
I don't think you're going to hurt
Just
any of
like-
those units.
Strange
Well, I mean, you
things
can talk
happens
to
on
them.
job sites.
You can talk to them.
So that's
Well, we're
That's our
also
part.
talking about sealing them too, correct? Or not?
right. The ceiling them, yeah, he could use
A spray or something.
hazmat suit and go in there with a
All right, okay.
Right.
The other thing that we might want to think about, as I read to you from the statute, the Board of Selectmen does constitute the Board of Health.
Yep.
And it occurred to me that maybe we wanted to dedicate maybe half an hour of one meeting a month to Board of Health, so I can appraise you of things, get your opinions on things, ordinances, et cetera, et cetera.
That's good.
Okay. Yep.
So, that's it. See, that was easy.
Well, can I just ask, I didn't get to ask. On the operations foreman and the shop foreman, did you guys read them? I know Dennis was fine with everything, but I didn't
I
know
read
how
them.
you were.
I was fine with them.
I didn't see anything,
Okay,
and
so
knowing
please-
that you had talked to Dennis, I
Right. So these are set, we can, when I get the changes, then we'll sign them all at the same time?
Did you read? You did read yours.
And I was pretty remiss because we were in a hurry, and I think we were a little bit overwhelmed at flipping a coin, but I was remiss, Al, in welcoming you to the board.
Right, yes.
Thank you.
And if you can pass the M&Ms this way, no, I'm just kidding. You got it. So, but welcome.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to working with you.
And hopefully you really like chocolate, because there's a lot of that and not too much else available around here.
All right. Well, it was a good call that we rescheduled Senator Forster.
Yes.
Forrester, so she'll call tomorrow and reschedule. Okay. Bob, do you have anything for us? You all set for your upcoming event? Okay, good. Good. All right, then anything else that comes before us in the public session? Go ahead, Tom.
I'd like to just mention to you that the Board of Commissioners will be holding their regular monthly meeting next Wednesday. We put it off from last night to next Wednesday. We'll be looking at a number of issues which I think would be of interest to everyone here, everyone watching. The election of the new chairman, and I'm sure that the issue as it relates to residency will be coming up at that meeting.
What time did your meeting start?
5:30 in this building.
And
Okay.
it'll be here at Town Hall?
Yes.
Okay.
What's that date, Tom?
March
7th.
28th,
No.
right? I thought you said next week,
Yeah, next Wednesday, which is
March 28th.
28th.
Friday.
March 28th. Wow, I'm a week ahead.
That's the
Man.
same.
No kidding, thank you. I got a whole nother week in March. I'm so excited.
Oh, if I could ask one other thing.
Sure.
It was mentioned under other business in our meeting the other night, by Selectman Costello, that it might be nice if board commissioners would take their meetings and have them available for those who can't come to various meetings. I certainly would be totally in favor of that. I've always been in favor of that. I intend to bring it up at the meeting next week. But we don't have the equipment to do that. We'll be here, a minimum of 6 out of our 12 meetings a year. That we regularly scheduled meetings. All the other meetings that we have, we generally try to schedule meetings and we work around schedule of other departments that might need it. So, I was wondering if you could arrange for the use of your camera to budget that purchase and buy that for ourselves, if the other commissioners go.
That'd be
I don't see a problem with
fine
that.
with us. We have 2 cameras. We have 2 cameras. One for upstairs, one for down, so if it's in use upstairs with the budget committee, and we have another one that's downstairs, so it's easy. I think it's a consensus the board would gladly make use of that to you.
I might have an extra tripod.
I've got the tripod. Okay. Thanks.
You don't need the little SD card. You might want to make sure you get your own little SD card, because that way you will keep that.
I'll come in as a cat.
And when they're ready, we have the best shopaholic on technology around the world with Tim.
Oh, rock bottom prices, he finds.
These little Thrives he just got for $250. I mean, I'm telling you, he's a shopaholic on those.
You could put most
He can find them.
shop as well.
I know, I don't either.
He's saved us hundreds of dollars on
He has.
equipment we've needed to
He
purchase.
sure has. He waits on Saturday morning and gets them all on the deals. All right.
Are we done?
Any more business that comes before us in a public session? And there is one thing. Joyce, I know that I think each of us have said it privately. We would like to say thank you for have it on record for the work that you have put forth for the town meeting. It was effortless, seamless. It was wonderful. You did a great job. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
From
very
us.
much.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you.
I thought the lemon bread was going to do me in, though.
Yeah, I mean, we did call on you when the lemon bread was... Oh, she's up there having the lemon bread. And Catherine, also, thank you
Yes, Catherine.
for running around behind the scenes and putting it all together for us. So thank you.
Much appreciated.
All right. With that said, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Bonus.
Catherine,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I wanted, would you like to look